Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of The Cloudy Vape. In this video we're going to be talking about the Crown Sub Tank by Uwell, or Uwell. So this tank is absolutely ridiculous. It is so flavorful, and the quality of vape, just the taste, it's so clean tasting no matter what juice you put in it. High VG, max VG. I've ran max VG through this, multiple coils. It wicks quick. It works in really high wattages. You have coil heads from 0.2, 0.25 I believe, all the way up to 1.2. So the main thing that sets this aside from other devices is that it has top filling. That's the first thing. The other thing, it's using quartz glass instead of Pyrex. It's quartz and not Pyrex. It is made out of all 3/16 stainless steel. I believe it is, the whole build is stainless steel, but the coiling, the actual wire inside is 3/16 stainless steel. The actual coil, not the build, not the coil shell. The actual wire that's wrapped around it is 3/16 stainless steel. The actual entire build is also stainless steel, and it's very well machined and very well put together. It's a beefy guy for sure. So I have this on my IPv4, and I'm going to be using the 0.2 ohm coil. It's registering at about 0.29, and I'm going to start off at about 45 watts, so it's roughly about 3.6 volts. So let's check it out. So I'm using a 65 VG juice, and I have used max VG, but right now I'm on this vanilla custard kick from Slowfoot Vapes. It is like a macadamia vanilla custard, and I'm all about it right now. So I'm putting it in every tank I own right now. So this is a 65 VG, and the flavor is ridiculous. 3.6 volts. Let's bump it all the way up to, let's go up to 4.2 volts. Alright, so 4.2 volts puts it up at about 60 watts. Sounds like it's cooking, so let's have a vape on it at 60 watts and check it out. So this is an absolutely intense vape at 60 watts, but you don't get any dry hits. That's the crazy thing. I mean, I can bump this up to 5.5 volts with the 0.5 ohm coil. I can bump it up to all the way up to 6 volts, 60 watts, almost all the way up to 80 watts. I've done 80 watts on the 0.5 ohm coil, and you don't get a dry hit even with max VG. So it's just... The wicking is great. It's it's 100% organic Japanese cotton. At least that's what it states. And it's stainless steel 3/16 wiring. So it just blows my mind, the flavor and the quality of vapor. As far as the actual design goes, I'm not a huge fan of the design. I think it can be improved just a little bit, but I'll talk more about that after we go up close. But one thing to mention, it doesn't have an RBA deck as of yet. I do know they're coming out with nickel wire or nickel coils pretty soon, Ni 200 coils pretty soon. But as of yet, all they have are the 0.25 ohm coils, the 0.5 ohm coils, and the 1.2 ohm coils. And some of them are wrapped dual coils in parallel. And yeah, that's just a little bit about it. So without more yapping about it, let's dive down, check this out real quick, come back up and talk about the pros and the cons. Alright, so here is the Crown. This is the Crown by Uwell. It does have a little weird marking right here. It says that, the coils equal spoons and pots. So it basically means that it's all stainless steel. I believe from what the manufacturer is saying, it is 3/16 US. I believe it's UUS or US 3/16L, I believe. The whole thing with stainless steel is a little bit confusing to me because I just haven't used it a lot. So I haven't really heard, pros and cons, stainless steel, 3/16 stainless steel versus Kanthal. So that's just, kind of weird for me to first see that. So dual coil, stainless steel, if you look in here, it is a little reflective. So you have two coils that come with it, one coil already stuck into the tank, and then you also have a quartz glass. A lot of people were saying this is Pyrex, but it is quartz. So you have a replacement quartz glass. You also have quartz glass right there. So pop this off. It says Crown right there. You flip it, it says Crown. On the back, it's going to say Uwell, and then it says a few things. Let me read this for you real quick. So Uwell Crown is a brand new generation of tank systems made from stainless steel and quartz glass. The Crown also uses Uwell's exclusive technology, which enables the most pure vapor in a much cleaner way. Moreover, the Crown applies airflow control mechanism, simply turning the bottom ring on Crown. The inhaling, okay. I think that was a typo. The amount of smoke and cooler or warmer vapor can be changed in this way. Uwell Crown distinguishes itself from all other clearamizers in the market. Uwell Crown gives the best vaping experience ever. And this one says it has 0.25 ohm coil heads in it. So the concept basically says you get the atomizer, crown coils, 3 pieces of crown coils, manual, and a few other things. So it it says uwell.cc, crown, just markings all over the box. So let me pop this off. I really wanted to get that top off because it was reflecting way too much. So there it is. There is your your tank, your whole setup. These are your coils. Has a little protective top on them so nothing gets in it, which is cool. And I do appreciate that they have a replacement quartz glass. Not too shabby on that. So pop this off. Also in here you're gonna have you'll have like extra O-rings. You also have just little tips on filling, and also dimensions and stuff on the very back, or at least talking about each part individually. So I'm going to set this stuff aside and just look at the tank by itself. So looking at the dimensions of this tank, it is stating from the bottom of the 510 connection all the way up to the top of the drip tip, it is 76 millimeters, 24 millimeters with the protruding this protruding ring on both sides, but I think the inner part right here is going to be 22 millimeters, so 24 is the actual thickness of the protruding ring. So it is a 22 millimeter tank, but because you have this protruding section, you're not gonna, the base will sit flush, but it will look, a little weird, kind of like the Goliath RTA. So yeah, let's check this out. So the bore on this is really nice. Very nice bore on your drip tip, and you have double O-rings on this to seal this off. This kind of just has a little bevel on the edge of it. You look down, it is a pretty wide bore and pretty tall drip tip. Very, very well machined. This whole thing is very well machined. So looking at this, this is your drip tip made out of, basically stainless steel. The next thing to look at is basically your top section. The cool thing about this is you have a top filling section. You take off this ring, you have top filling right there. Very nice, not too shabby. You have a few different sections. Let me take it all apart for you. So this is your coil head already stuck in there, and I believe this is going to be a 0.25 or 0.25 ohm coil head, I believe. Yes, this one is 0.25. So you look down in there, very well, just compact, just tons of cotton in there. And the trick is, I don't know if I can get close enough to show you, but once it's actually saturated, what it looks like they're doing, unlike other companies, they're using thin layers of cotton, and it's just stacking a bunch of thin layers, which basically means it's easier to saturate and fill up the cotton with juice. So you have really small juice flows, but because of the way the cotton is layered in there, it's really not a problem for Max VG. This wicks perfectly with every single type of juice I have. So even though it is, like 2.5 millimeter juice flow, yeah, probably at 2.5 to 3 millimeters, so it's not too bad. But we'll talk about this later. Let me set that aside. Just looking at this, looking at the sections, so right here where I was talking about the top filling method, this does come off. This like little ring right here comes off. You have like a little cage in there to basically connect to your your coil head, and essentially that's how you take off your glass Pyrex. Let me see if I can get this thing off. Alright, so I finally got this off. So like I was telling you, this comes off just like this. This is one section. You have your chimney. You have a little O-ring right there to seal that off. And then you have your top filling section. You have your quartz glass. That's how you replace your quartz glass. And then you have this kind of a cage going on for the actual coil head. So that's how that takes apart. And then it goes right back together just like this. You also have O-rings right here. And also right here. Let's look at the actual atomizer section, the bottom section. So you have a little pin, you have your, where you screw down your coil head, and then you have really small airflow, compared to most at least. I would say anywhere from 6 to, probably 6 to 7 in width right here. And then on the opposite side, 6 to 7. So you have two Cylon airflows, and the thickness is about 2.5 millimeters. And it does click and adjust. So you do have a few options. And if you adjust it on one side like this, it's going to be adjusted on the other side. But as soon as you pass that airflow, there's no more noise. It's just kind of spinning freely until you hit the airflow again, and then it starts clicking one more time. So that's how the airflow control works. So looking at the bottom, it basically just says their website, also says Crown, and then you have your contact pin, which is, I believe it's a silver contact pin, and then you have a grommet going down in. So definitely not friendly on hybrid connections, so do not think about doing that. Right along the base of this thread, right here, you also have an O-ring that seals off the actual tank and top section. So this is, make sure that O-ring is there when you're using it. So here is the coil head, essentially looking in there. The actual wiring in there is 3/16 stainless steel. The outside is also stainless steel. Here is your airflow intake, very large, 3 to 4 millimeter airflow intake. You just have one hole drilled right through. And then if you pop this off, you're going to have also a very large airflow intake going in like that. There is your grommet. You can see all the way through. It is very large. I would say close to 4 millimeters. The thickness of a coil is close to 4 millimeters. And that's about it without taking it apart. I have a used one I'm going to take apart and show you it. But let's go ahead and go over to that used one, pop it apart, and look at the actual coiling. Alright, so here is the used coil head. Let's just take it apart and check out what's inside. You have a grommet, you have a pin, just like most. You can see the leads just kind of hanging out right here. Now, there was a confusion with me with the actual manufacturers. I was trying to ask if there was a resistance, non-resistance wire. So it is stainless steel. We all know this. This is stainless steel. That has been a little bit of a confusion, but it is stainless steel. The only thing is, let me see if I can get this out. I don't know if I can pop this out. I popped one out earlier. There we go, and then we have a bunch of cotton. And I'm using really dark juice, so that's why it's so dark. There we go. As I was saying, you see all the little pieces? They basically are layering it like crazy. There's no burn marks, it's just dark from the dark juice. But the trick to their coil heads is they're just layering the cotton like crazy. There's a bunch of little pieces of cotton, and it is all cotton. I don't feel any funny business in it. Just feels like cotton to me. But as you can see, it's just layers and layers and layers, and that is the trick to getting such good wicking. Most companies will just do one big piece and just wrap it around a bunch of times. But that's definitely what they're doing. So layers upon layers upon layers. Now the next thing to look at. So this has to be a non-resistance wire connecting to this, like a fuse. If you see, none of this is getting gunked up right here, if it'll focus, but this part is gunked up. So this part is really stiff. It's a stainless steel wire, and then the outside has a non-resistance fuse. You can feel the fusing right here by my finger. There is an actual fusing. So there was a confusion. I asked if it's fused with non-resistance wire. They said no, so I don't know what it's fused with. But basically, what I can show you, and this is, don't do this at home. Definitely don't do this at home. So yeah, please don't attempt this. If you're trying to do this at home, please do not attempt this. This is just to show that there is a non-resistance wire in here, and I just wanted to show that it's not pure. It is not pure stainless steel going in there. Let me see how many watts we're at. It's about 42 watts. I'm going to turn this down just to fire it up a little bit. So I'm just doing 26 watts. Alright, so look very closely. This part of the wire right here is not heating up. Just the inner part is. Now you can see that. So this bottom part, the leads are not heating up. It's being fused. So yeah, I just need clarification from the company what exactly they're using to fuse. I would assume it's a non-resistance wire just like everything else. But yeah, this section does not get, the sections that are on the leads do not get hot. Only the inner section gets hot. So what exactly are they using to do that if they're not using a non-resistance wire? Because the question is, is it non-resistance? They said no. They said it's pure stainless steel inside. But is it a non-resistant stainless steel? Which I don't think so. Maybe it is. Who knows? But basically, you see it. You see it for yourself. There is a non-resistance wire in there, and yeah. So that is just a little science project. Again, don't do this at home. This is not smart to do. I just wanted to show you it. So yep, let's wrap it up. So there it is. There is the Crown Sub Tank by Uwell. So let's go back up to FaceTime and talk about the pros and the cons. So the main thing I could say right away is the these rings that control the airflow and that also take off the top filling. I feel like they're protruding out a little bit, and I had that same problem with the Goliath. The juice flow control just looked ugly. I feel like they could sleek it up a little bit because it just looks a little bit ugly because the rings are kind of protruding out from the actual build. The other thing is the quartz glass being just pure glass. There's no cage or there's no shell around it. That is another con. I feel like if you hit it just right, it could crack. Quartz is pretty strong, but at the same time, I think the purpose of using quartz is it does well. It does better under temperature, at least higher temperatures. At least that's what I've heard. So that's the reasoning. But I feel like there should be some type of reinforcement cage around this glass. And again, that is just my thought. The other thing is, I wish they would come out with Kanthal-based coil heads. Maybe some people are concerned about stainless steel. I'm still researching about what exactly temperatures are with stainless steel and what you can use with stainless steel, but from everything I can see, 316 stainless steel is fine to use for wiki or for building coils and stuff. There's just different types of stainless steel that are not. So that is the main thing, and that's all really I'm going to talk about it as I get more information, and if I can find pretty solid factual evidence about the stainless steel, I'll do another video and update you guys. But as of right now, from what I can understand, the 316 stainless steel is safe for vaping, at least at a certain amount of temperature. I'm just trying to find what the temperature head is, what the overhead is on the temperature. So that's just that's neither here nor there, but it's a good thing that they're making the nickel coils, so that's definitely a pro. I just wish they would give you the Kanthal option if people don't want to mess around with the stainless steel coil heads. So yeah, that's about it. as far as what it has top filling, like I say every tank should have. It has good airflow. I wish the airflow was just a little bit bigger to cool it off a little bit more. Maybe a drip tip with airflow option, that would be cool. Again, cage on the tank to protect the glass. It does come with a replacement glass, but you know, what if your replacement breaks? So, you know, just a few things. Nothing crazy, but I'm impressed. I'm absolutely impressed with this one. I'm kind of getting sick of sub tanks, honestly. I'm getting sick of reviewing them because they're all the same. But this has that change up with the stainless steel coils, top filling, and it just wicks great because the cotton is put in layers rather than just one big piece of cotton wrapped around. So that definitely helps with wicking. It helps you wick faster and more efficiently. So yeah, that is about it. I could keep talking and talking about this. Thank you so much, Uwell, for sending this out. And yeah, that is all. So I'm going to wrap up this review, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please like it. If you like my videos in general, please subscribe. And as always, stay classy and keep vaping.